COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence programs run by for 40 years by the FBI, were an assault on democracy in America. The point is that politicized surveillance is not an abstract future fear in America. It is an established historical fact. And it's a history that we have to remember when we consider the present and future, particularly of the way the internet has been used by agencies including the NSA and the FBI as a tool to monitor you. It's worth noting at the moment the words not only of the Founding Fathers who, despite their various imperfections and failings, attempted to create a system that would rule by law so that we would not be subject to the rule of imperfect people. They included in the document constituting our republic two protections in particular that were supposed to protect not just you but our democracy. One of those amendments, the First Amendment, includes 5 discrete rights, and I want to unpack one element of the right to speech that people don't remember. You have not only the right to say whatever you like, but you have the right to hear from anyone, including people who will silence themselves when they know they are being watched. That is why when you are watched, you are not free, full stop. To say that we live in a land of the free and the home of the brave in an era of mass surveillance is an oxymoron, because free people are not monitored to a greater degree than any human beings in the history of our species, with the possible exception of people growing up in contemporary China. And a brave people would not consent to this. This year, a key statute undergirding the NSA dragnet, Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, it's the law that enables much of the internet-facing aspect of the NSA dragnet revealed by Edward Snowden, the PRISM program, through which the National Security Agency basically takes data from the major internet companies, as well as upstream collection, through which the NSA takes data from the internet's backbones before it ever reaches its destinations. The statutory justification for those programs is set to end this year, which is to say Congress will have to pay attention to this. And I would ask those of you who are inclined to raise your voice, first of all, for being out here, thank you, but to take it beyond today, in between the flashpoints, I want to recommend 3 things. The first is with respect to 702, to defend the internet, the republic, from mass surveillance, to ensure not only your right to privacy, but your right to hear from all speakers, including the vulnerable ones. If you have not recently met with a member of Congress, don't email them. Don't call them, fine, do those things too. And don't even write a letter representing your views, though that's fine too. Write a letter signed by 6 people who you work with or live near, asking for a meeting. That's the kind of letter that is worthwhile. If you're not writing letters on behalf of groups asking for meetings, it's an exercise in self-expression, but without leverage. Beyond that, if you want to then, with the people who signed your letter, continue taking action, reach out to me and my colleagues at EFF. We launched a Grassroots network a year ago called the Electronic Frontier Alliance, and that Grassroots network has 49 groups in 18 states, hacker spaces, community organizations like the Oakland Privacy Working Group or the Peninsula Peace and Justice Center, which actually lobbied Julie's bosses at Santa Clara County and last year won the Surveillance Transparency Ordinance, the first of its kind in the country that would subject mass surveillance not by the NSA and the FBI, but by police departments in the over 15,000 police departments across the country that are using mass surveillance technologies, subjecting them to long overdue oversight and transparency. If you live here in Palo Alto, there's a parallel measure been introduced by Councilmember Corey Wolbach, who couldn't be with us today. But if you live in Palo Alto, reach out to Councilmember Wolbach and support that bill. If you don't live here in Palo Alto, or if you don't live in Santa Clara County, ask your representatives and supervisors why they know so much less about surveillance by their police departments than their colleagues in Santa Clara County. And if transparency is good enough for Santa Clara County, it should be good enough for every other city in the country. New York City recently introduced a bill. There's a bill under debate currently in Berkeley, one in Oakland. There's another one before the BART board. If I didn't name your jurisdiction and you want to see transparency, if you want to reclaim your civil liberties, reach out to me and my colleagues. We are very interested in working with you. The most important act of civic engagement is to recruit, find, and cultivate local networks. Find 3 people in your community, in your workplace, in your neighborhood who share your concerns talk about the issues, and figure out what you're going to do together. Keep turning out, keep showing up. Thank you so much for raising your voices for civil liberties and inclusion today. I fear this will not be the last time we'll need to come together. Thank you.